TikTok Tuesday in our nation's capital. Congress gearing up for a high-stakes vote this week to potentially ban the popular social media app. Democratic Representative Ruben Gallego, the only House member with a TikTok account, is still reviewing the bill and won't say how he intends to vote. His top Republican rival in Arizona's U.S. Senate race, Kari Lake, declined to say what she thinks of the proposal that former President Donald Trump opposes.
But we're at a crossroads. Abortion access, our water supply, home prices, and so much more. That's why I'm running for Senate.
Sticking with Arizona's pivotal Senate race, Gallego released his first ad. The campaign paid $1 million to run the 60-second spot statewide through the end of the month. In response, a spokesman for the Lake campaign called the spending this early in the race, quote, reckless.
We need help. We need the ability to pursue these criminals.
Following an investigation by Arizona Families on Your Side, the state Senate approved a message to toughen penalties for crimes committed with artificial intelligence. The bill now heads to the House. Also at the state capitol, Arizona School Superintendent of Public Instruction Tom Horn delivered his State of Education. The state's school chief told a House committee that the ongoing shortage of teachers is the state's top problem.
And Horn said that better teacher pay will help, and he spoke about his support of a proposal by the GOP that's trying to get a measure to the ballot to boost teacher pay. I'll have more on that and more on what he had to say coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. And I do have to correct myself. There's 170 million people on TikTok.
Just a few more TikTokers.
Not 170,000. Hey, man, it's why I wasn't a math major, you know?
Dennis, I have to ask, so Lake's campaign is suggesting that it is somehow unusual for there to be television ads this early in a Senate race. Is that true?
Yeah, they're saying it's reckless, that they're saying that this is a sign that his campaign is desperate, that they see polls and that he is, vulnerable and whatnot. When you talk to the Gallego side of the campaign, it's like, well, the reason why we're spending this money now and doing this now is because we have the money to do this. It's going to be a long, hard-fought campaign. And that is true. Normally, we don't see spending like this early, but, things are different. This is a high-stakes, pivotal race. A lot of things are going to be happening. They're going to be, fighting it out from now until November. I mean, Kari Lake still ostensibly does face some token opposition in the GOP primary, but all the polls show that she has got that race well in hand right now.
Well, it's subjective on each end, right? You're not going to have somebody say, yeah, great for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So, all right, Dennis Welch, thank you.